Okay, so here's latest and greatest updates with going through some swing progressions, and I thought would be worth sharing. So, by the way, I have an old school Adams idea 6-iron here. Rest in peace. Anyway, alright, so big thing I've been working on was originally this idea of where the hands were too high coming through impact because it was being done to counteract the face being too closed. And an effort to get the hands lower in all the swings, with the idea of combining that with a less closed face would produce more consistent contact, and that's been going well. However, with the longer clubs in particular, has been progressing with that, there's been an issue of overdrawing where the face is still too closed even though the hand's low, or compensating by keeping it too open, not drawing enough. And what I've been really trying to do with the longer clubs is figure out a way to avoid two-way misses. So a two-way miss is where, one swing you overcook it by having the face too closed coming through, hands low, and you hit a pull hook that's really low and bad. Or you have the opposite where you do a better job of keeping the face open, but the path and face match up to the right too much, so then you hit high, like push blocks, or you start it too far out to the right and then straighten the path too much with the face open, which then causes a bit of a fade. So what I've done that's had some success, and what I've continued to now need to practice, is on the standard swing, continue to be more square at the top, not closed, keep the hands low. But with the longer clubs, decide on two strategies to both smooth out the movement of the ball, but also have a more predictable direction of the miss. So what that has turned into is two basic approaches. What amounts to more of a straight low shot, where I take one swing approach, and the more traditional higher draw swing, but with a little bit of a toned down face at address, or at the top. So what do I mean by that? So continuing with kind of bowing the wrist and being very closed at the top, not when I'm trying to hit a draw, but when I'm actually trying to hit a fade. So keeping the hands more out in front, so not taking it too inside, taking the feel like the club's coming away from me, closing at the top, and then swinging really left, so really firing the body, swinging left with a closed face, with the overall idea of actually trying to hit a slight fade. So have the face pointed really shut, shaft leaning forward really strongly at contact, but actually swinging left of that face so that I hit a low straight / low slight fade. And that's actually worked pretty well with the driver in the first few times I've taken it out to work on it, and then obviously hit it on the course. And then the opposite happening when I'm trying to hit that draw. So not coming shut at the top. So if I'm trying to hit a longer shot with a little bit of draw, going much more to a neutral position at the top. So for me, it almost feels open, but for most golfers, it would probably be closer to straight on. And then swinging, taking that normal path where I don't get as aggressive with the body. So I'm aggressive, I get left with the body, and I do turn my hips, but I don't try to exaggerate the firing left through the ball. Kind of just almost go more left and then tilt back with secondary tilt, so that the face stays more open, so that provides the loft for the shot, and the path stays right. But it allows me, because the face is more open, to increase that rate of closure through, so that I'm hitting a more kind of, it is more handsy, but it's a more kind of open to closed type swing, whereas opposed to the first version, the swing is more, stay outside, close, and then almost act like you're opening it through impact. Really, you're just keeping it more square through impact. So, Ideally I would love to get to a point where I could play both a draw and a fade from that more closed at the top, stable through impact release. I'm definitely not there yet. But anyway, these two swings, I've been able to actually get the feel of them and take them out on the course, and it has reduced the two-way miss substantially, which has definitely improved the score, so hopefully that helps.